What up, basement dwellers? We hope you are doing well. And for all of those of you who are new, welcome to the channel. It's going to be a dope time where we really just get to normalize vulnerability. That's the whole point of this podcast, the B-side, and everything that we do. So this episode with Zach and Tim is absolutely amazing. I cannot wait for you to get into it. I want to share a little bit about 2 things that you can do to sow into normalizing vulnerability today. You can go download and subscribe to the B-side app. We got all of our exclusive content on there, but outside of that, the point of it and what we're really trying to achieve is building a strong community that desires to normalize vulnerability. We got a lot of new features that we're building right now as we speak to have a lot of chat features within the app. And we want to build it into something beautiful and epic so that we can continue to bring safety, healing, and quite literally change the world if we normalize vulnerability, and we can't do it without you. So go download and subscribe today. For this channel, we also got basement YouTube memberships. I'm gonna be traveling with Tim and vlogging a lot of stuff, and I wanna give you those episodes as soon as we can, and we're gonna upload them onto the YouTube channel. And outside of that, you're gonna get these cool little loyalty badges where it's gonna be like a dope little basement emoji next to your name and in the chat. And it's gonna be really cool whenever you're commenting on the live stream. And then we can also do live streams with you guys. We can do chat only for members. There's a lot of cool perks that come with it. So however you want to sow, whatever you feel like doing, you can do it on YouTube, you can do it on B-side, you can do it on both. The whole point though is to normalize vulnerability. So we love you guys. This episode quite literally exemplifies normalizing vulnerability, and we can't wait for you to get it. So we love y'all, enjoy, and peace.
Please don't push me.
Please don't push me, but y'all push B. Now we got dwellers from Cali to Flatbush B. Now they got heat on their feet that say press B. And now we so deep in the streets, y'all can't stress me. Can't curse me, then bless me. I'm crucifying my flesh, that's less me. SAT'd from preaching, can't test me. Atheists are now believing, that bless me. Yeah, we got the basement replacing any of those worldly pursuits that y'all chasing, any of those trials and tests that y'all facing, any of the relationships that y'all changing. We rearranging, making the shame shift, giving Satan back what's his, that's the blame shift. Rise up and walk commands, that's the lame shift. Cheat codes for living this life, that's the game shift. All on Yeshua, man, the rest is manure, man. I'm dying daily, so I rise up a purer man. Pressing B daily, so my sins looking fewer, man. Washing the blood, so my sins down the sewer, man. Yeah, so press B with me, and let's let whatever gon' be just be. Yeah, so press B with me, and let's let whatever gon' be just be. Welcome to the basement, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Tim Ross. I just feel like saying it. I don't even know why.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I have no idea why I just said this like I said it. And so, but I did. And I'm so excited that you are here. I want to give a shout out to all of the dwellers, give a shout out to all of my B-siders. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you for coming to the B-side of conversations, the B-side of culture, the B-side of chaos. We up in here, you know what I'm saying? So I'm super excited. Hey, listen, I'm so excited and delighted because I am here with a young man that I met several years ago, and he didn't even think I remembered him, which is hilarious. But I do, and because some people are just memorable like that, and he has a pretty cool story and a really dope life. Like, just in us vibing, I'm like very happy about where your life is right now. It's still in that stage where
Struggle.
I don't think it's struggle as much as finding out how much God wants to surprise us, right? And do stuff. So I what are y'all what's happening with the lights right now? Like like this like it felt like it got dim, then it felt like y'all are giving Zach like a halo.
Yeah, we're getting a dramatic.
We were trying to get him right. It was a little dark.
Okay. No, it's all good.
dramatic look.
Exactly. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know what was happening, but I don't have to know what's happening. Does he look angelic now? He looks cute. This is hilarious. Hey, listen, everybody. This is first time here, but it won't be his last. And I just want to, as we do with every one of our episodes, I just want to have a convo with a young man who I'm delighted to have here for the first time, but not the last. And I'll let him get into all the stuff that he does. I'm not going to even try to put it in the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, but not the last, I want to present to some and introduce to other. Zach Mirs is in the building, everybody. Let's go! Let's get it. Let's go. Bro, I'm so happy you're here.
I love it. Thank you so much for having me, man.
Did you like that introduction? Have you been introduced like that before?
Yeah, I love the studio audience.
It's just us. I like the way Ryan didn't clap for you at all. Ryan is so deep in his text messages. He was like, I came with this dude and I don't feel the same way y'all do. That's how he is so unbothered. Could you have a more uninterested companion traveling with you to a pod?
I love it.
I didn't mean to
so
put
much.
you on blast like that, Ryan. I love you, bro.
He's so stressed out all the time.
Ryan looked up from his phone like, huh?
Dude,
Where am I?
you don't need to worry about anything for the next hour, Ryan. So.
Ryan, just go take a nap. I got a room right over there. They
Poor
just
guy.
cleaned it. Just lay on the top cover. Don't get under the sheets. You'll be fine.
This is great. I love it so much.
This might be the tone of this entire conversation.
Yeah, I texted your team. I was like, can I bring a friend? He's an editor. He's so excited to be here. And he's on his phone.
I'm going to spit my drink out. He's so excited to be here that he did not decide to clap.
He texted me at 8 a.m. He was like, can I still come to...
Now he's clapping. Hey, and he gave a woo. Hey, that's actually the best recovery ever. It's just to like do it.
Oh, man.
I give you props for that. Funny. Kudos. Zach.
I love you, Ryan.
Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
I'm so grateful you're here, bro.
Yeah. I was like, we're talking downstairs, and I was like, you don't remember me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's what everybody says. That's what everybody says. You remember me. You don't remember me, man. So,
and then I started to give you receipts.
Yeah.
And you were like you remember that? Wow. Exactly. Exactly. So, bro, your first time on The Basement.
Yeah.
But man, I just love your energy. And like the vibe that we even had over lunch, like that could have been the podcast, right? Like, I mean, the stuff we were talking about over lunch. And we can repeat all of that. I don't mind.
I was about to say, I was like, I just need to be quiet during lunch. I was like, I'm ruining it.
No, you're not. Not at all, bro. No, not at all. But I do want you to just give us like context to who you are, like, and kind of where you came from, where you are now, and then we can get into whatever you want to get into.
Mm-hmm. Origin story,
absolutely.
Yeah, so,
like Into the Spider-Verse star.
Yeah,
like
I love
let's start from the beginning, right? Miles Morales. Yeah. All right, let's take it from the top.
Yeah.
I got bit by a spider. My Uncle Ben died. Like we got to start from the beginning. So yes, origin story for sure.
Yeah. So my mom is originally from Afghanistan.
Okay.
My dad's from Iran.
Okay.
And they came here to America to live the American dream. Afghanistan was fighting Russia.
Yes.
And then during the Iranian Revolution, my dad came.
Wow.
And they came here. They met in Texas. And long story really short, So
I'm sorry, like, before you make this long story short.
Yeah.
I think I'm about to
make it really long.
I'm about to stretch it out already. Sorry, my bad. I'm too curious. That's my problem. So your mom met your dad here.
Yes.
So separately, they moved here.
Yeah.
From Afghanistan and Iran.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Got it.
And my dad started an Italian restaurant of all places, in Arlington, Texas. So I guess the ingredients are cheap. I'm not sure, actually. So
This is
just
wild.
Like, yeah, he's just like, pasta, sauce, I could do that. Bread, wine.
He comes from Iran to the United States of America and opens an Italian joint in Texas.
Yeah.
This dude missed all the clues.
I know, this guy. So
That's fantastic.
So this is actually his watch. I actually recently found it.
Awesome.
It doesn't work. So I need to.
But does it need to?
No.
Yeah, you know what I'm
No,
saying?
I love it.
That's awesome, bro.
So they got married in this restaurant. Years later, they had me, had my brother. We're less than a year apart.
Awesome.
And when I was 1, my dad was locking up the doors and he was walking to his car to come see us, his family. And as he was walking to his car, he got met by 3 masked men. Arlington, just 20 minutes away from here. And these men pulled out their guns. They shot my father 6 times, and they killed him. So, yeah, he was murdered.
Wow.
And I was 1 when that happened. And when you're 1, you're watching VeggieTales and like you can't even talk yet. So
Yeah.
Growing up, I knew there was something. We knew like you're supposed to have a dad, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So one night, me and my brother are upstairs. We hear our mom coming upstairs, and me and my brother look at each other. We're like, "Are we in trouble again? Why does mom?" She never comes upstairs.
Yeah.
So she comes upstairs into the room. She's fighting back tears, and she goes on to say, "There's something I need to tell you." So I'm around 8. My brother's 9. She goes, "You don't have a father." We're like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "You don't have a father." She just told me the story that I just told you, and for me, I was sad and embarrassed, and
Yeah.
I wanted to keep it a secret.
Yeah.
So I ran to magic, because magic is one of the only art forms you could run to that's all about secrets. My family's from, we would watch these specials, and I'm like, I want to do that for the rest of my life. Today, my brother's a lawyer, just to give you context. So
He had a different.
So, well, kind of. We both lie a little. I mean, kind of. Like we're just kind of.
How about we just say we keep stuff confidential?
Yeah.
Yes,
He's
much better.
New York. He's gonna sue us.
You'll probably win. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man. One thing led to another, and I always had a deck of cards in my hand, middle school, high school career, and people started calling me the Magic Man. And I met this man. He was a magician in high school. I was a sophomore in high school, and he was a strong believer as well. And we became friends, and shortly after that, he became my mentor.
Wow.
And long story really short, he kind of showed me what the gospel and what Jesus did for all of us. And years later, I started touring with him. And we did the college circuit. Every single night, I would be backstage hearing him share the gospel. And and today I tour with my stage illusion show, doing a magic show for people, giving them a message of love, hope, grace, and redemption. So I use what I do, and why I do it is just for a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Dude, okay. Well, you dropped that on us, and then
Is it too early to
not
talk
at all.
about that? Sorry.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I just find it very interesting. So there's a gap in my head between 1 year old and 8 years old.
Yeah.
In your mom sharing this with you.
Yeah.
What is she saying or not saying?
Yeah.
That makes, because clearly there's not a father
Ever.
between 1 and 8.
Yeah.
But what made that moment for her to share it? Like, you don't have a father. It's like, well, there's been no man here since I could consciously remember. So was it almost like if she said it, it was then a reality? Like what?
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't really know how to process it.
Yeah.
We just knew we were supposed to be sad, but how do you know you need something
That you've never had.
when you never had something?
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
So, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just remember, growing up, when I found out about the death of my father, my family would always ask me what I wanted to go or what I wanted to do. And I'd often say, I want to go see Dad. So they would take me to the place that my dad was buried. And just, they would tell me these stories about him. And, they would tell me about the Italian restaurant. My uncles took over that restaurant. So it actually closed down in 2007 when the Cowboys were building that Jerry World. All the roads were closed down. So it was open till then, but I would always just go into that restaurant, have the garlic bread, bake ZT, have a glass of water or some Coke if my mom let me. And I would just always want to know more about my dad.
Yeah, for sure.
Because whether we have a bad relationship with our dad or a good one, a piece of a father is always a piece of us. And that's this watch. Like, this was his wedding day at that Italian restaurant.
Wow.
Again, it doesn't work. I got to figure out the parts. So if you're a horologist, I think, please DM me. So, yeah, man. So,
we probably have one within the community. So you've just made a request that could get answered.
So and it's part of me is like, I've dealt with this story so much. And I don't think there's ever, I think loss, literal language often fails us.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Because our experiences are our experiences. And when there's losses like that, especially a father.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think you could have father figures.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mentors.
Yeah, they don't replace.
But it's just not the same.
Absolutely correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that was my upbringing, and me and my brother were really close. My mom, again, from Afghanistan. When she was in Afghanistan, she, school wasn't available for her, so she couldn't really like read or write. And when she came here, like, it was the American dream. It was all the opportunities she did not get back at home, and really for my father as well.
Yeah.
And my mom was a wonderful mother. My family, treated us as if Dad was always there. They would always spoil us, probably even more.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And overall, like, we just had a really great childhood. And my family was always really supportive because for the first time they saw me like love something like magic.
Yeah.
They're like, well, let's go to the Yellow Pages and see if there's a magician like around the area.
Right.
And I found a couple magicians and they taught me the trick of the trade.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about like even my world. There's no really like college or university to go to. Like,
yeah. It's like a little fraternity.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's the same way a disciple would find a rabbi. It's the same exact. It hasn't changed. Yeah. So really, like, if these kids, they would go to school and they would like learn Torah and Sefer.
Yeah.
And then if you're the best of the best, you would go to secondary school and memorize the rest of the scriptures.
Right.
And if you're the best of the best of the best, a rabbi would tell you like, hey, I think you have what it takes to take on a rabbi's yoke.
Yeah.
And a yoke would essentially like, be like who a rabbi is.
Yeah, for sure.
Their understanding and their teaching and the way they interpret their scriptures. And kid would go, hey, can I follow you?
Yeah.
And then this rabbi would kind of test this kid. And if you're the best of the best of the best, you would follow this rabbi. You would take on his yoke. You would become a rabbi one day and take on more disciples. It's the same way in magic.
That's wild, dude. I never even considered making that type of correlation.
Yeah. So secrets are really deep.
Yeah.
And it's old.
Yep.
And it's handed down from generation to generation.
Yep.
And if you want to work with the best of the best, you have to prove yourself. Like, does this kid have what it takes? So I could give him these secrets. And every secret has a weight. So does this guy trust you enough? Does this magician trust you enough to give you the secret? And you could follow him around for many, many years and become one of the best. Yeah.
Wow, my brain, you just unlocked like 6 compartments in my brain.
Yeah, it's just, the magic world is really fascinating, man. Yeah.
All right, so let me deal with one of my compartments, and then I'll ask you a question. One of my compartments that you just popped open that I didn't even know was in my brain until you popped it open was, how do you feel about the dudes or dudettes that like cover themselves up in like a one-piece garment and expose the secrets?
So they're dead. No, just kidding.
Like,
just
I know
kidding.
who you're referring it to, and they're no longer with us.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. So I think what you're referring to, like in the 90s, there was like this massive show on Fox called The Masked Magician, and he wore a mask and he would reveal secrets. Now, those secrets are really old.
Yeah.
Like if you were to bring out a really loud prop with, these beautiful girls wearing really loud attires, that just wouldn't work anymore. So what he was revealing was really, really old magic.
Yep.
That magic has evolved.
Yeah,
over
absolutely
time.
correct.
So if there's like a magician out there today that's like revealing like David Blaine's secrets or Copperfield secrets today,
Gotcha.
that would become an issue. But like the thing about secrets is that so the magic world, secrets aren't protected. So we could cut this out, but like really the magic world is kind of run like the mafia a little bit.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You just don't want to mess with the wrong guys.
Understood. No, that makes perfect sense.
Because
you're messing with livelihood and tradition.
Yeah,
and
there has to be some frame of reference or some kind of order for secrets because the government, secrets aren't protected. They're not patented. They're not copyrighted.
Right.
You can't say, "Hey, this is my method."
Right.
Right. There's a million ways for you to pick a card and find the card. Right.
Right.
But if I'm finding your card a different way than the magician B, then whose trick is it? So Teller won his first lawsuit a couple years ago where he copyrighted or patented. I got to ask my brother about this. That he covered it as a play. So he was like, it doesn't matter if you get to the method, but if it even looks like my masterpiece.
Yep. Wow. And he won that case?
Yeah, he won it. It was the first time ever.
Interesting.
And then Copperfield a couple years ago paid a lot of money for basically Congress to recognize magic not as... Bless you.
Thank you. I don't know, man.
This is great.
Yeah, this is unbelievable.
That's when you know it's good.
This is going to be the sneeziest episode ever.
That's when you know this podcast is good.
Exactly. All right, so Copperfield paid.
Yeah, he paid like Congress or lawyers a lot of money, and now magic is being recognized as an art. But that doesn't necessarily mean like secrets are protected.
Understood. Yeah.
So
that's fascinating.
So there's a group of guys you just don't want to mess with.
Yeah, for sure.
Magic, and if you do, then
okay,
things happen.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect. Listen, I get it. I'm telling you, I get it. All right, so this is a question that I know, as a believer, you've been asked ad nauseum.
Yeah.
But to answer it here would be really, really insightful for some people that we have down in the basement that really want to be well-rounded in their approaches and philosophies around ministry and life and how to reach unbelievers.
Yeah.
So you say magic, right? And you've probably triggered.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Right.
Yeah.
You've probably triggered every African, everyone of African descent, everyone who was born and raised in South America.
Yeah.
And every Pentecostal believer that has ever grown up in a Pentecostal church, they're ready to rebuke, bind the entire episode and you, and ask you to be delivered from your sorcery ways and being a warlock. So can you please?
Yeah, that's true. I totally forgot about that.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, can you please break down for us?
Yeah.
the approach and the philosophy that you have around magic and how it has been advantageous to opening people's hearts to hear the gospel.
Yeah. So let me just clarify. Magic isn't real. Magic isn't real. I just want everybody to know
That's
that.
a really good place to start. It's a really good
Just
place
before you
to
get
start.
canceled. Hey,
yeah, exactly. Because you did say magic and not sorcery.
Yeah.
The dude did not. I did not
Yeah.
introduce
Yeah, this is
Gargamel Mirs here.
man.
This is not. This is not Papa Smurf's
Yeah.
arch nemesis. Gargamel's here, ladies and gentlemen. I got him in the basement.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
So magic isn't real, but the experience of magic and beauty and what it gives you is very real to people. So magic is just it's methods and it's tricks. The same way that you learn how to play guitar, there's techniques and there's rhythms and there's pacing and there's beats that you have to just kind of flush out over time. And really, it's a compliment when people are like, "Is it real?" Because you want it to look real. You want the experience to be real, but you know it's fake.
Yeah.
Because it's so often like we kind of lose wonder and awe
Yeah.
just in our world. Like
Very true.
I have a 1-year-old daughter, and the way she sees the world is the way I want to see the world again.
Yes. Oh gosh. This is the benefit of having babies.
It's
They can reset
incredible.
you if you let them.
Yeah.
Right. It's beautiful.
And really, that's what my art form, if it's done well, is supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be like a challenge or, hey, I'm gonna grab your soul and put it in somebody else. That's not real, right? Like that's not. But like, you know, if someone wants to go there,
Yeah.
they can present it that way.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not real,
Right.
right? That's the thing.
I
so.
love that you keep driving this home with it's not real.
By the way, did I say it's not? So yeah, man. So yeah, and really kind of like as far as like ministry goes, like a lot of churches bring me in, and really like I tell people, listen, I'm not a pastor or a youth pastor or a overly educated. Like, man, I do a freaking magic show.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's what I do, right? But like, however, like I am, and you are, and we're all just witnesses to our own experiences. And really, what I do as an art form is it brings people in that would never step. This isn't for people that go to church every single week and really want to dive in deep into theology. All it is for that person that's struggling, or the person that hasn't gone to church or has issues with the church. It's like a 1-hour experience where they could come in
Yep.
for the first time in maybe years
Yep.
and come see a really cool magic show and hear the gospel for the very first time.
Yeah. It's good.
Really it.
Yeah.
You know, it's as simple as that, man.
Yeah.
It's not like bait and switch.
Yep.
It's like this is a really, and then also like outside of the four walls of the church, like we rent out theaters, and like I'm not a Christian magician. I'm just a magician that happens to be a Christian.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So people come in all the time and it's like, hey, you're like a clean magician. Like you don't like, there's something about you that's different. That's all I want.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they could follow me around or, you know, go to church, or like, I'd love to have those conversations, but really it's just like an easy way for people to come and just like be in my space.
Yeah, it's really
you
good.
know? So that's it. Yeah.
I really do. One of the things that I've loved about the art form from your mentor and yourself is that your approach to it has always been disarming. Right?
Yeah.
Like magic disarms people.
Yeah.
Because we all have that childlike part of us that wants to be enchanted.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And to the point, like you said, we know this isn't real,
Yeah.
but we want to be enchanted, and we actually give ourselves permission to be tricked.
Yeah.
Right? Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't want to pay attention that hard.
Yeah.
I want to be wowed.
It's like
right?
going into a haunted house.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know you're gonna be fine.
Right, exactly. Jason's not in here.
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger is not in Disneyland's haunted house.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not.
You know you're gonna be, but you want to be scared.
Yeah.
That's
You
why
want to
go
be
to a-
booed.
You want to be. Yeah.
You don't want to be bludgeoned,
Yeah.
which are two
Yeah.
totally different things.
Yeah. So like really, it's been a really interesting journey because like from my father and becoming a magician and finding a mentor that happens to be a Christian and just touring with them and doing what I'm doing today. Like I was even telling you downstairs, like I don't know where I'm at in my career.
Right.
Like I have this thing that I love, that I enjoy presenting to people. And I'm a follower of Jesus. And I just don't know what this season looks like, because it's something that you kind of touched on probably a couple of podcasts ago. I think it was a clip, but you're like 1 foot. I don't know. I don't want to put words in your mouth. You said something like 1 foot is you like in the church, like speaking. And one is like outside of the four walls of the church and doing this thing.
Absolutely.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'm there.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
So I just have this thing that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And people come to it and they seem to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's unformulated right now.
Gotcha.
It's just a season that's just like, I don't know where it's going. And it's really exciting.
Okay. And it excites me.
Yeah.
All right. So you've given me a good visual with the 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Let me ask you, if you're not opposed to answering this question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let me ask you, do you feel like you're straddling? Does it feel like I'm straddled? I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and I feel split.
Yeah. I think it's more like I feel like I could present things in the way I wanted like to present it. Like it's unfiltered and it's art and it's beautiful. And I don't have the elders sometimes in the back. Like that's right in the paycheck. Saying, hey, don't say that or don't do that or don't present it that way. So it's been it's been in a way of like I just want to flush this out.
Yeah.
I don't know if straddling is maybe the right word because I like, or maybe I don't know what it means when you say it that way. He's sleeping.
He's different.
I love that kid.
That little kid is different. I love Ryan. He's different.
But yeah, man. I mean, I just like I'm in my studio every day, just like dreaming.
Yeah.
And like dreaming about what? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's what if you could do this?
Yeah.
It all starts with like what if?
Yeah.
And then you just create.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, so
I don't know if that answers your question.
it does. It does answer my question. I'll tell you where I am as of today.
Yeah, can I ask you questions after this?
Of course you can.
So much.
Can ask me all the
I'm
questions.
so curious, man. You're one of my like. You're probably. By the way, can I just say something? You are the best speaker I've ever heard.
Oh man, thank you.
Could I just say that? Like I was before I came. I forgot the address, so on my email I just like Tim Ross, and I had all these emails I sent to myself of your sermons in the past, and you've been so instrumental in my life, man. And like in my mind, like when you would have guest speakers and stuff, like when they said Tim Ross, I just get so excited.
Oh, thank you, man.
So I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, thank you,
Yeah,
Zach. That
yeah.
means a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you. So here's where I am as of right now. If you were to ask me this question March of this year, my question would have been very similar to yours, right? 1 foot in, 1 foot out, how to balance the two.
Yeah.
As of this day, in December of 2023, still the same calendar year, both of my feet are out of the church. and squarely in the world when I am podcasting, when I am doing comedy, when I am talking to people, because we were told to go into the world and make disciples.
Yeah.
Right? And so my feet are firmly in the world. Both feet firmly in the world and not of it. Right? With trying to be a light. And then when I'm in the church, both of my feet are squarely in the church, and I code switch and I preach my sermon and give them the glorious gospel of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that I only have to do it at like 5 churches and not 25 churches and fly 100,000 miles around the country. I am so grateful that I occupy the majority of my time sitting on a couch talking to people about how to navigate through life.
Have people questioned that in the church? Like, hey, what's going on with Tim? Why is he doing this? Has that been?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because think about it. I've been preaching for just shy of 28 years. And so for the last almost 28 years, well, I'll say 27 because I made the transition in January. For the last 26, 27 years, the only thing I've been is a preacher. That's all I've been. And I've loved being a preacher. I'm so nervous for that because of that table. So I just want you to get it because I don't want you to wear it. All right, cool.
Yeah, that's good.
So I completely understand them. Like I understand how if you've heard me talk for 26, 27 years and then heard me preach, standing up preaching for 26, 27 years, then all of a sudden you hear me sitting down talking, and the way I talk is so drastically different than the way I preach.
It's like bilingual.
Yeah.
You have one language and you have a different.
Yeah. So I could empathize with the reaction I got. Like I wasn't like, can't believe y'all are acting this way. Like I actually get it. Like I'm like, and as they were grieving, like whatever disappointments and expectations or perceptions they had of me, I was actually grieving too. Because I was grieving the familiarity I had just doing like church speak, like sermons. Like, you know what I mean? Because we weren't having, when I do a sermon, I'm not having a conversation with you.
Yeah.
I'm preaching. It's a monologue.
Yeah.
Like
it's
there's no dialogue. It's not like point 1, be more like Jesus.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm that good of a communicator. Point 2, right? Like, no, like it's a monologue. You say man or hey man, right? One of the two, right? But at the end, I'm done and take it or leave it. Notes or no notes, like I'm done. But when the ebb and flow of a conversation is different. The texture and the nuance of a conversation is different. The emotions in a dialogue exchange are so different. And so people were getting triggered left and right and shocked left and right. And I can't believe he said this and I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he said this like that. And so that came in waves this year. And then I just realized that it's going to take some time for the people that don't like that side of me to say goodbye to me. Right? Like it's just not going to fit them anymore. And so they need time to say goodbye. And for some of them, it's a grievous thing to do. Like, man, that kind of sucks. I like them a lot. Just can't hang with the guy now. And for others, they're like, oh, I like this version of Tim so much better. Like, oh God. I mean, I liked you as I've literally heard people say, I liked you as a preacher, bro, but I really like you as a podcaster.
There's just layers you've peeled back, like from seeing you from being a preacher to just having this conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like I'm talking to Tim. You know what's funny? Because we had our daughter like a year and a half ago, and she was born, and it was just hard to like get to the church we were going to. So my friend was like, "Hey, Tim's church is only like 15 minutes away." So I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's amazing." So after like 3 weeks, he made the announcement. You're like, "Hey, by the way, I'm out."
You came in like
I was like team 10.
You were like the mid of September and August,
that's what
October. First weekend in October, I'm like, so anyway.
Hey, by the way, everyone. We're there. We're Team Tim, right?
Yeah.
We're solely there because I loved you.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank
And I'm
you.
sure like it's amazing now.
Yeah.
But we're making that car drive because I wanted to listen to you every week.
Yeah. I get it.
Loved it. So yeah, man. So can I ask you one more,
Bro,
So like,
this is
okay. So
you're my guest. You can
but-
take it
okay.
wherever you want to go.
But so your origins, you were a stand-up. Did stand-up help you become a communicator?
Immensely. And I was a rapper too.
Okay.
So I started rapping when I was 9, started battle rapping at 13.
So you're a rapper before you did stand-up?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when I was I think I started doing stand-up when I was 22, like formally. People kept telling me I was funny.
Yeah.
And so I went and got a coach. Because comedians
You mentioned that.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is it, like a comedy coach?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Yeah. In DFW. His name's Dean.
Really?
And this dude is like low key. He's not a loud dude, but any like local Dallas comic, they probably went through Dean.
And he'll just punch it up for you, be like, "Hey, this is too long."
Well,
this is too short.
he has like a 6-week class that you take with him.
Wow.
And so you meet like every week for 6 weeks. And then your graduation is 3 minutes at the Improv. It's almost like a recital.
Wow.
So you write all your jokes, and then he tells you like, no, like he won't let you do poop jokes. He won't let you do body jokes. Like he's like, and you can't, if you're gonna, and you can't be a dirty comic. Like he won't let you be dirty. He's like, you must learn clean, and then if you're great, you can be as dirty as you want.
So you can't be a dirty.
Can't be a dirty comic
or a Christian comic. You just have to be a comic.
Yeah, he won't. The dude is irreverential. Like he doesn't give a damn. Like don't do it. Like you know what I mean. So every week I would go in there with my bits, and he would be like, to your point, punch that up. Edit this.
Yeah.
It takes too long to get to your point. Like just get to it. Just get to the funny. Like nobody wants to hear this whole setup. Now, I'm a storyteller.
Yeah.
So that's my natural default. So he taught me how to write jokes, but I'm not a joke teller.
Right.
So, but in the same way, what he gave me by forcing myself to do something that's not my natural bent, I did learn how to get to the funny, how to have my premise and my setup and then my punch, right? And my misdirection and all that. Now, in a season where I get to control how I want to do this,
Yeah.
I'm taking all that I learned and I'm still just giving it through my stories. So I had all of that before preaching was like the thing that I knew, oh, God definitely wants me to do that.
Really?
So
yeah.
So preaching and stand-up comedy, somebody's going to think this is sacrilegious.
I love it.
They are almost,
I love it.
They are almost identical. They are
Yeah.
almost identical. I don't believe there are any two purer forms of communication than preaching and stand-up comedy.
You got the voice and the mic in the audience. That's it. Bill Burr used to say, "Oh yeah, he's doing that big church show in Houston." Yeah, he's got a church gig he does every week.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's the same thing, right? You're building this rapport with your audience. There is something that you want to bring to them. All good comics bring tension to their material, right?
Yeah.
All good preachers bring tension to their material.
It's so parallel.
It is. I mean, it is literally, I don't know. It's not, I don't know. There are no there are not two purer forms of communication than the preaching of Jesus Christ and him crucified and doing stand-up comedy. Because you must enter both spaces with truth. In preaching, you must enter with the truth.
Yeah.
Who has a name, and his name is Jesus, right? It's not a doctrine or whatever. If you're going to preach, you must enter with the truth. If you're going to do comedy, you must enter with your truth. Or they're going to sniff you out. If you bomb with your truth.
Which is a weird thing for a brown guy to say. So,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do comedy. You get comedy, right? So, but think about
right.
it. If it's going to be the worst set of your life, let it be based on your truth, the truth of how you see the world. But if the worst time to bomb is when you go up there trying to give people what you think they want to hear.
It has to start within here.
It has to start with you. So in the same way, I can't get in the pulpit and tailor the message for what I think the people want to hear. That would be completely disrespectful to the truth of Jesus Christ. You don't tell a congregation what they want to hear. You tell them the truth of Jesus Christ. And in the same way, when I do a comedy set, I don't give a damn what your opinion about me or my material is. If you receive it, great. If you don't, this is what I'm standing on it. You can boo me off the stage, but you're booing me off with my truth. And I can sleep good at night knowing I gave you my perspective of the world.
Yeah.
You don't have to receive it.
You know what's interesting too? Is even the parallels of you getting to the place to, like, comedy, it's like open mics for years and years and years and years and years.
It's true.
You get bumped and you're
Yeah.
working your way.
That's
and
exactly
in the
right.
Church,
Yeah.
like, there's overseers.
Oh,
and, like,
absolutely.
You get 2 minutes here.
That's
and you
exactly
could do
right. You get to do a 3-minute oversight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You're transitioning the service.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like you're the mouche bouge for the main course.
It takes at least 4 to 5 years to you even getting comfortable in front of a group of
I agree.
people.
I absolutely agree. And comfortable with your voice, comfortable with your cadence,
Finding your voice.
finding your voice.
What is your thing?
Absolutely. And then getting other voices out of your head,
Yeah.
right? Because you're always inspired by the people that make you inspired to do what you do. And then, like, those people that inspired you, then you have to detox from them.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Why?
You are your mentors.
That's
you are the
exactly
people
right.
you like.
That's
even
exactly right.
even like my mentor.
Yeah.
It took years for me to find my voice. I'm sure there's preachers out there right now saying, like, there's so much without that reminds me of Tim.
Absolutely.
That reminds me of Tim.
Yeah. Absolutely correct.
Tim.
Absolutely
Yeah.
correct.
Man.
The late Carlton Pearson, who was very, very influential in the body of Christ for years and years and years, particularly classical Pentecostalism in kind of black American churches. He saw me preach. He just died recently, but a couple of years ago he heard me preach, and he walks up to me and he goes, "How come I've never heard of you?" He said, "That was the most masterful message I've heard in a long time." He said, "And you know I've been around." And I was like, so coming from him, it was already, and then he does this roll call and he goes, I heard Miles Monroe. I heard Bishop Jakes. I heard Noah Jones. He said, and I heard you. And that's when you've crossed that line. When you've metabolized those that have inspired you, your mentors, and somebody can recognize those impressions that have been left on you, but they still leave with you.
Yeah. You'll always be a piece of your mentor.
Absolutely correct.
And how
Absolutely
do you take
correct.
that and become
yourself?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, right? That's the whole
That's
thing.
the thing.
That's the thing.
That's the thing.
Nobody like
That should be the name of the podcast. That's the thing.
that's the thing. That's the thing. So Bishop Noah Jones, I got exposed to this guy named Noah Jones when he was a pastor in Longview, Texas.
Okay.
Okay, he's
This
now
is
in
your
LA.
mentor?
No, he's not my mentor.
Oh, gotcha.
But he was very, very inspirational to me. Very verbose, had this extensive vocabulary. Like anytime I heard him speak, I had to have a dictionary nearby because he would purposely use words that nobody knew. Like I'm like, okay, you're well read, we get it. Like you know what I mean. But I do short prayers at the beginning of all my sermons. I don't do these long prayers. They don't even last like 5 seconds. I'm like, Lord, bless us now. Amen.
Love it.
I got that from him.
Oh, great.
I still do it to this day. Everybody thinks they actually call him, hey, we do Tim Ross prayers now. You actually do Noah Jones prayers because that's who I got it from.
Yeah.
Right? I've just been doing it longer. Right? They never heard him, but that's who I got it from. And then that became a part of me. And it's a part of what I do. But it didn't start with me. It started with him. Father God, bless us now. Amen.
Oh, man. But there's layers too,
Yeah.
right? Like I wonder who, maybe he got it from someone else.
Could have.
Like, what are these layers
Yeah.
that get you to where we're at now?
Yeah.
And what our sons and daughters are going to do in the future?
That's
we're
right.
all just building upon.
That's right.
And that's the rabbi, the discipleship that.
All of it.
Yeah.
Greater work shall you do. That's the way Jesus set it up.
Yeah.
Right? That's what good mentors do. They're like, just pass me. I'm going to give you everything I got. My ceiling is your floor. Now just pass me. Greater work shall you do. Not only do I expect it, I prophesy it. You're going to do it. It's not even like man, I hope you guys do greater than me because I have to go. He literally prophesies and says, you guys are going to do greater works. I'm out. And that's a beautiful thing. It's a very selfish mentor who wants to see their mentee stay beneath them.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure that's a mentor. That's probably just a dictator.
Yeah. That's we all know someone like that.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
We all know someone
We
like
could all
that.
name someone like that. Not just that we know, we can name them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so how so do you miss, is there any part of you, like what was the moment where you're like, I don't know if passionate is the word, but like, I'm not as passionate about doing this as I once was. It's time to X, Y, and Z. Do this next thing. Do this podcast. Like,
No, that's not how it went.
it's not.
No,
Okay.
no. So I got a prophetic word from my friend Charlotte Gamble, September of 2021, the last Sunday of September 2021. And she gave a prophetic word, and I thought I understood it. 4 days later, when I was in a hotel room in Tulsa, the Holy Spirit said, go listen to the word again. So I go listen to the word again, and the only thing I keep hearing through that word is, your time as a lead pastor is coming to an end. So I thought I was getting fired, so I burst into tears. I'm like, am I getting fired? Did I do something wrong? Through a lot of prayer and a lot of conversations with Juliet and the elders, we realized, okay, the season is indeed coming to an end. So by January of 22, we knew, okay, our time is up. Juliet was hoping, because that was at the end of, that was year 6. So 22 was coming into year 7. Juliet was like, maybe we can make it to 10 years, which would have been 2025. That sounded too far away. So by January of 22, I'm thinking it's probably going to be September of 23, which is this year, right? And so I'm like, maybe it'll be 2023. And then the Holy Spirit was like, you're both wrong. It's December 31st of 2022, right?
Wow.
So as the timeline goes, I get this word that my season's coming to an end as a lead pastor in September of 21. 22 is when he tells me who my successor is. May of 22 is when he tells me to do the podcast. July 6th of 22 is when the first podcast drops. August of 22 is when he tells me that this is my last year. September of 22 is when I tell the staff. October of 22, you were at the service, is when I told the congregation.
Yeah.
And then we have a 90-day transition until I'm a full-time podcaster.
Wow.
So this was not my idea. The Lord told me to do the podcast. Wow. And so I do the podcast, and I give you that sequence to answer your question. If you ask me, when did I feel like something changed? When I woke up January 1st of 2023.
Because you're not getting emails complaining.
No,
I'm just kidding.
no, I didn't get those anyway.
Okay.
Somebody got them. It wasn't me. I'm not saying I didn't get them. I'm just saying they didn't come to me, right? Ignorance is bliss. Right? So same reason I don't read the comment section. That's all Hooli in there. Grinding it out with these jokers.
Oh, so you don't read the comments?
No, I do not.
You read the comments. Wow.
Every now and then I might see one and I might be like, interesting. You know what I mean? But I don't do this whole scrolling thing through like, wonder what everybody said about me.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I can't.
Like when someone like says something really rude. Like, oh, I don't have my phone, but like he was like, the last one was like, what's opposite of entertaining? Because that's what that was, and that was really funny to me. Like, that's funny. That's like a really like I'm genuinely like entertained.
Dude, I'm the same way.
None of that stuff gets to me.
It doesn't bother me. Like I'm like every now and then somebody will say something just right or wrong, depending on how you look at it. And then like the nigga would jump out of me. Like street nigga Tim comes to the forefront quick.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, hey, buddy, you can get 2 to the chest and 1 to the freaking head if you don't watch your mouth. Like, you know what I mean?
Some people it is.
Some people
first type that in and hit enter.
Hey, dog, yo, and here's what those people don't know. IP addresses can turn into physical addresses.
Oh yeah.
In like 6 weeks, fam.
Oh yeah.
I can find somebody in India to get me your address in like 6 weeks, partner.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So like those are very far and few in between, but every now and then they cross a line and this nigga jumps out of me.
Oh my gosh. I can see Tim going on Fiverr.com and being like, what are you searching for? Someone to figure out this IP address.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you, I am crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who lives. Because if I live, somebody's 2 cash apps away from being dead, fam. Like this is not. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm not even lying.
Oh man, yeah, this is crazy.
I know people that don't know me.
Yeah,
that's how you get away with stuff.
Yeah.
You got to know people that don't know you. Plausible deniability. I don't know.
Yeah.
Heard he died on a bike.
Have you read
2 days after he made that post? That ain't got nothing to do with me. He in Maryland. I'm in Texas.
I would recommend a book for that. It's called How to Disappear. There's a book called
I'm not going to do it.
It's for magicians.
I am going to keep my flesh crucified, but I just think some people talk reckless and they've never been about a certain life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's just weird.
Yeah.
I'm still weirded out by people like that. I'm like, man, them keyboard gangsters are.
Unless it's like about family, then obviously that would get to me. I think that's probably the only thing. Like, you could talk,
but I don't.
You can say whatever you want about me.
I really don't. I really don't.
Yeah.
And I'm like you. Some of it is laughable.
Yeah.
Because the majority of it is so wildly out of context.
Yeah.
That you just wind up laughing like, bro, did you listen to 10 seconds of this?
Yeah. The cussing episode was entertaining to me.
Oh, well,
that was a good one.
That was
Highly recommend it.
It was entertaining to a lot of people, whether they didn't like it or not.
Yeah,
they
Sam was
got
telling me.
They were making reaction videos and
Oh my goodness.
calling me a false teacher and all kind of stuff. And
Yeah. Wow, man.
but yeah, it's been an adventure.
Bro.
But here's what I would say: when you make vulnerability your life and not just a moment, the way you live is different. I don't have vulnerable moments. Like the majority of people have a life with a few vulnerable moments. Like I just got vulnerable with them. I live there. Like the street they visit, I paid for the whole lot. Like so my lifestyle is vulnerability. I don't have a moment.
what was it like growing up? Because like your brother was in a gang.
Yes, my older brother
okay, I
founded a
remember.
gang.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he founded it.
Yeah, he founded it.
Jeez. Okay. I didn't know that part.
Mm-hmm.
What was your parents? So did you grow up with your parents?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
What-
they're still alive.
What? So what? What was all that?
Well,
Because like, here's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's just fascinating to me. You operate at such a high level today. Like
Yep.
having those cards dealt to you.
yep.
A lot of people would be like, "You're the younger brother, right?"
Yeah, I'm 10
So-
years younger than my older brother.
So like, most people would think, I would think like, "Oh, you joined the gang with your brother," and like,
I did.
"Oh, you did."
This is a funny story. I was in his gang for 7 days.
What was like? What was it like growing up with your parents and that environment? Like, did you just know you needed to get out, or were you like, "This is my lot"?
Well,
This is my thing.
here's what's interesting. The way I always often describe it is that my parents were able to give us a middle class lifestyle in the hood. Like they pulled it off somehow, and it's miraculous to me. But they were able to give us a middle class lifestyle in the hood. So my dad worked for the U.S. Postal Service for 33 years. My mom worked for the LAPD for 30 years. Very stable jobs, very stable people. My mom and dad are the Pentecostal Huxtables. My mom and daddy are the Pentecostal Cliff and Claire Huxtable, right? So salt of the earth people, love them. They're amazing. My older brother founded a gang, and so and so they moved us 20 miles out from LA, right? Because like
Okay.
it was like we got to get them away from that, right?
Yeah.
But all the family still lived there, and we were there every weekend. And then I spent the summers with my godmother, who lived in Watts, literally 2 houses down from Grape Street, right?
Okay.
Down the street from Nickerson Gardens, like some of the roughest places in LA. Okay, and so I never mentioned my dad. I never mentioned my brother's gang affiliation in terms of what's said, because I just don't want. I still have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Environmental trauma where it's like I don't need a nigga to run up on me and be like, "Oh, your brother was from where?" Like, you know what I mean? I'm freaking 48. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
so I can't have that, right? So
Scary.
I never mentioned that. So growing up was crazy because everybody on my dad's side of the family were Crips, and everybody on my mom's side of the family were Bloods.
So my father was killed by the Bloods.
Are you kidding me?
It was an initiation. And that's what happened. So I don't mean to, but it's okay.
No, I get it, bro.
Yeah.
And it makes me angry.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Keep
No,
going.
no, dude. That's. Can we take a moment right there? I think we need one, because something that I had to every day make a decision not to be a part of.
You know what?
somebody decided to be a part of that, and it cost your father his life.
Yeah. I mean, you know what one of my goals is? To do a magic show in that prison one day.
So they were caught?
Yeah, they're in jail.
Yeah.
Well, 2 of the 3 are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Life
Other-
sentences or?
Honestly, I don't know too many of the details. I know my aunt has to go every year to do the
To parole, to
Yeah,
like
yeah,
probably
yeah.
keep them in.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what it
Like,
is, yeah.
don't let these niggas out. Your aunt probably doesn't say that,
But like
she probably thinks it.
Honestly, man, like they were kids.
Of course they
They
were.
were 17.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Like they're totally different now.
yeah. Imagine an initiation
That
That
cost.
that cost them their life.
Yeah.
They take a life for their own life to show allegiance
Yeah.
to a block that nobody owns the title deed to
Yeah.
for a color that was made in China.
I mean, it is.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. And like part of that was like my dad knew he was going to die. So he saved. So there was a server. And he told him to go back in. And my dad ran. And this man is alive today. Because he knew what was going to happen. I often wonder what he was thinking about. Knowing that there's 2 kids at home.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Is those little decisions and unfortunately, the environment that they were in that, you know, what's funny is like, man, their grandma they were living with was so sweet.
Wow.
She's like an angel, man.
Yeah.
So,
And grandmas can't compete with the acceptance that a gang life offers. You know, I got the only reason, and I this is no cap, bro. The only reason why I wasn't a gangster was because of Charles Edward Ross.
what did he?
That's my daddy.
Oh,
I was in my brother's gang for 7 days because he's an OG, because he's a founding member. I didn't have to get jumped in
yeah.
to the gang. I got walked on. I got walked onto the set. That's how you refer to it. So I got walked onto the set, and it was like, yeah, you one of us now. And 7 days later, they walked me off the set because they're like, this nigga keeps pumping out. He's not ditching school. He ain't drinking. He ain't smoking.
He's not one of us.
He ain't one of us. He ain't trying to do no dirt. And I'm like, niggas, I'm scared of Charles. Like, I don't know. Like, you talking about,
Yeah.
are you down for the set, and are you down to go ride on these niggas from this other set and da-da-da-da? I'm like, I'm only down to ride my bike back home because
Yeah.
my daddy will be looking for. So I know for a fact, if I was raised by a single mom, she wouldn't have been able to compete with the brotherhood I would have had. Right?
Need a dad.
Everybody needs their daddy, fam. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dad comes home.
Yeah. Dad comes home.
Wait till dad comes
the
home.
atmosphere changes, fam. When daddy comes home, the atmosphere changes. And so that's the only reason why I was only in a gang that I'll never forget the time. I will never forget this as long as I live. I was ditching summer school.
Uh-oh.
The fact that I had to do summer school lets you know I was not inspired by school. But I was ditching summer school, and I was at the park. I was at Rimgrove Park. If you know, you know. I was at Rimgrove Park, and I saw my daddy's Oldsmobile cruising down the street. He was looking for me. And I knew I am dead when I get home. Like, I'm not going to live past this day. So I'm staying out. Because when I get home, I shall be Isaac crucified on the altar of my dad's anger, right? But that put the fear of God in me, fam. And I realized, like, this dude cares about me. He was pissing me off, but he cares about me. And my dad was the neighborhood dad because none of my homies had dads. I could do a roll call of the closest niggas I ran with. None of them had a daddy. Nobody else on my block had a black father. That was even in their life, period. So that's how I got out of being in the gang. But here's the thing. When you choose not to be in a gang, you're still in a gang.
Because you can never get out.
You're in the gang that's not in the gang. Which means y'all are a gang. Because you're the one, y'all have to band together now because you're part of the gang that chose not to be in the gang. And you have to have the same mentality of those that are in the gang. Because the environment doesn't exempt you from what happens to everybody else that's in the hood. So I still got to watch what colors I'm going to school in because of the neighborhood that I live in. We would bring an extra change of clothes when we went to LA to visit all our family. We would bring an extra change of clothes just in case we wound up spontaneously going to my auntie's house, but that was on the blood side, and it would be like, "Oh, you got to change that." And my daddy would pop the trunk before we left this family member's house and was like, "Put this on instead." That way, when we get out of there, and we talking about like parking going in the house. Not like, okay, y'all go play in the street. Nah, we talking about in the house, back to the car. Like, nah, it was, we played video games on the floor. That's pop, 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 the drive-bys and all that.
The windows, you're below the windows.
Yeah, we're below the windows.
Wow.
You hear shots fired, you don't run to the window. For two reasons. First of all, you don't want to be shot.
Yeah.
Number two, when Popo comes, I have no idea. I just heard shots. If I heard those, right?
Wow.
Depending on what neighborhood you in. So so I had no idea I had environmental trauma.
Wow.
I didn't even know that was a thing until I got into group therapy.
Is that what got you into rapping? Was that, hey, I gotta keep my mind out of all this, let's try a new thing?
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, it was. And rap back then, because rap is 50 years old, like they're doing the 50th anniversary of hip hop, 50 years old. I'm 48. So rap is my cousin. That's like my big cousin. I was raised with rap. Like that was my language. Rap told me that I could speak articulately. Rap told me that. Like the rappers I listened to growing up, these were people that had read books. So we're talking KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, EPMD, African Bambaataa, Curtis Blow, Grandmaster Flash, Grandmaster Cass, Fat Boys, Beastie Boys, Run DMC, Kool Moe Dee, LL Cool J, Rakim, Aaron B, AG, Andre the Giant. Like I could just do a roll call on all the people that I listened to growing up. Brand Nubian, Professor X from the X Clan.
Yeah.
Like
What do you have, like their cassette tapes?
I had their Das Effects. Das Effects were two English majors that became rappers.
Wow.
So the whole Iggity, they made that up. If you ever hear Iggity in a rhyme, they were the first ones with the Iggity stuff. And they're smart people. Their wordplay was just immaculate. So I just started writing about the stuff that I saw growing up. I never did none of that dirt, but I was around it. And so I've seen dead bodies. I've seen people get shot up. I've seen people get jumped, beat, and wind up in a wheelchair for the rest of their life. Like, I've seen like very violent things, like dark, violent things. And though I never participated in any of it, I know that I have the potential to do that, to protect mine, me, my person, my wife, my kids. I have no problem taking a life if their life is on the line. Point blank, period. I'd go to whatever trauma therapy I need to go to afterwards, but I will smoke a nigga where he stands for Juliet, Nathan, and Noah. Point blank, period. Charles and Maxine, I'm dropping bodies. I'll deal with the repercussions afterwards.
Same.
It's not even
yeah.
That ain't even a thought.
Yeah.
If it's me, kind of like your dad, and if that's too sensitive to even make that comparison, forgive me. If it's me, I might not make it. You know what I mean?
It's a sacrifice.
If it's Juliet, it would have to be a sneak attack, because that thing is always on me. And if I have 0.5, 0.2, 0.3, whatever the draw needs to be, you take it 1, 2.
Yeah.
And if I get to line you up, you are asleep. Like, I'm trained to put you to sleep. I'm trained for you to stop thinking about us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trained for.
Wow.
I know this is probably a dark episode.
Yeah.
but it's just real life, fam. It's just real life. Like, I'm trying to get your central nervous system to stop thinking about me.
Yeah. It's interesting. Kind of like where I'm in my life right now. I'm 32. I have a family. I'm, we talked a little bit about this earlier today, but like, what I want to know what it was like for you when you were my age or even younger, having a family and traveling so much and trying to protect them, but also being away.
Yeah.
What was that like? And what were like the rules in place when you would travel and be away for an extended period of time? Because I'm traveling so much doing my show.
So I remember Juliet was pregnant with Nathan. We have 2 boys, but Juliet's been pregnant 5 times, so we lost 3. Juliet, first baby, she surprised me. She just came off birth control and got pregnant. She knew I was ready to start a family, so she did it. It was sweet. And then we waited the whole, wait the 3 till the first trimester's over, and before you announce it, and we announced it, and to our closest friends, and the very next checkup we went to, there's no heartbeat. And it was flipping devastating. It was like devastating. So I'm like, okay. So that, and the baby didn't naturally come out. So we had to do a D&C, which psychologically was just like, do we not believe God? This feels like an abortion, like all these different things. It was just very, very, very difficult. So we get pregnant again. It's Nathan. And I think she's like 5 months pregnant with Nathan. And she stops at a gas station one night, and she jumps out the car, puts the fuel nozzle into the car, starts pumping it, opens the door, driver's side door, to jump back in the seat. And right when she's opening the door to jump back in the seat, a dude opens the passenger door and jumps in the seat. And he's like, "What's up, girl? You good? Like, can I get your number?" And she was like, "This dude's in the car. My wife's 5 months pregnant. Like, can I get your number?" And she was like, "No, I'm married." "I don't give a F. just give me your number. I don't care. And so it was only the grace of God that she kept her composure and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, she gets out of the car before the gas is done pumping, and she just starts walking towards, she paid with her debit card.
Yeah.
But she started walking towards the store like she had to pay going in. And the guy was walking with her. And she could tell by the time he started walking with her, this guy's inebriated. So they're walking. He's still trying to talk to her. And then she stops and he just keeps walking. And so she turns around, takes the fuel nozzle out, hooks it, gets in the car, drives off. So she comes home and tells me this, right? I have the most litty imagination of all time. I see everything in pictures, right? So she's telling me this story exactly how I'm telling it to you right now. And I'm on, I forgot, you know who it was at the time? Nancy Grace. Remember Nancy Grace? Like she was on some news. I think she was like on MSNBC or CNN or something like that. You remember Nancy Grace? So she has some show and she was always reporting on somebody that like their husband or spouse got murdered or went missing, and they had to send the dogs into the woods to kind of like search parties of trying to find. And Juliet's telling me this story, and I'm on Nancy Grace crying. Like, please help me find my wife. And I'm like, so I'm thinking the worst case scenario. I'm like, okay, babe, we're going to the gun store tomorrow because I got to get you a gun. She was like, I could never shoot anybody. I said, oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can, and you will. And I will teach you. Let's go. And so she had a strap the next day because I was not having it. And so that was like so, like the thought of that, and obviously I went to the worst case scenario, could have been much worse, and people have gone through worse, but just the thought of it and being so helpless and out of control in that moment, and then it triggered my abandonment and my attachment issues, and if something happens to Juliet, what happens to me? And it was a horrible time. But I just remember thinking to myself, like, yeah, I need to make sure, I need to make sure that I can pivot, and make sure my wife can hold her own. And then I just have to pray and leave it in God's hands, because you're 32 with a 1.5-year-old. So you started a little bit earlier than we did. We had been married about 8.5 years before we had our first child. I had Nate. I was 33 when Nathan was born. I was 35 when Noah was born. And so I actually liked and enjoy having kids in my 30s rather than my 20s, because we got married young. So I was 23, she was 20. So I'm happy that we waited as long as we did, because it gave us time to figure each other out and figure ourselves out before we brought other humans into the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have been really weird to try to figure me out, her out, us out, and then this little alien growing. Yeah. Right. So, I've really enjoyed the path and journey God took us on. Yeah. To do what we did the way we did it, and the travel. I feel like God just graced Juliet to hold down the fort while I went to go get our money.
Yeah.
And
this is mostly churches at the time, right?
Yeah, this is all church stuff. Yeah. This is all ministry stuff. And really, I would say March through October is like hunting season, right? That's when you go out and get it. Yeah. You know, everything's going to start going inward in November and December. And New Year is like Vision Sunday and all this stuff.
You get your budgets back.
Right, you know what I mean? And if your budgets got approved, and so you let that shake out February, January, February, you get, so you try to save up enough between March and October to last you November through February. Yeah. And you might pick up a couple here and there. But hunting season is
it's interesting
in the States now. In Australia, December through February.
Why do you go to Australia so much?
Man,
Is it
God opens doors for some people.
is it
and-
just like the church, like handful of churches that just
Oh, dude.
really?
It's our second home.
Really?
I've been over 30 times in 13 years.
Really?
Yeah, we just spent 8.5 weeks there.
I was about to
This
say
year,
because
yeah.
I know you've mentioned Australia a few times.
Oh, dude. Okay, so let me tell you.
Really?
Let me tell you what I love about Australia. Australia. What I love about Australia is that it's a secular country. Like, there's no pretense of like this country was founded on godly principles.
Yeah,
It doesn't exist there.
That's us.
Yeah, exactly, right?
That's
And so
us.
and so there's no pretense that we acknowledge God at all. So the people that give their life to Jesus in Australia, they meant it.
Wow.
Because there's no God culture. There's no Christian culture.
Yeah.
So if you give your life to Jesus, like, you really, really meant it, because you could have been at the beach.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
It really is like when I'm sure it's harder to preach there because it's like, who is this guy? Who is Tim? You know,
Yeah.
like when you go here, like, you know, people love you. Like they like part
Yeah.
of it is like getting the people on your side.
Yeah.
You have to trust the messenger before you trust the message.
Right,
that
for
he
sure.
has to give.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Australia, like, I would imagine it's just like, who is this guy?
No, it's easier
Oh,
to
it's
preach
not.
there. It's easier to
Really?
preach there. I prefer preaching to
Oh.
Australia than anywhere in America. Hands down.
Really?
Yeah, hands down. You know
Wow.
why? I don't have to code switch over there. Again, there's no, they don't even know Christianese.
They're just
They heard the gospel and gave their life to Jesus. They're like, whatever, mate.
wow.
So, and I'm not saying that there's not pastors over there that come from 2 or 3 generations, but I'm telling you, when it comes to evangelism, you are getting somebody that most likely has no point of reference
That's interesting, man.
to Jesus.
I only feel that way. I feel that way when I'm in New York
Yes, great place.
California.
Yes, of course.
and Europe.
Ah, yes, of
Yeah.
course, absolutely.
It's just like I could only imagine that's the feeling. If
Yeah.
like you're going to church because you're going to church.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone didn't
Yeah.
make you go to church.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
It's like you really believe in this thing.
And what's interesting about here's what's wild about, like, there's so many stats in America every year about, like, the youth don't want to, like, follow Jesus anymore, and 1 million kids a year are turning away from their faith and they're not coming back, and da-da-da-da. And I'm always thinking to myself, who the hell is reporting this? Then I'm like, oh, it's the old Baptist church that still thinks that if a woman speaks, she's
With the green carpet.
right,
Yeah.
right. Like you're going, oh, all of these churches that usually report or have reported traditionally for decades, like, this many baptisms and this many salvations. Now they're not reporting as many baptisms and salvations, and so it looks like nobody wants the gospel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, a whole bunch of people want the gospel. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, a whole bunch of people want the gospel, and I have proof.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's interesting that you say that too, because like that old Baptist church, like, when was the last time we tried something different?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know, because often conversations are like, man, this worked 15 years ago or 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It doesn't
was
work
15
now.
years
That was 15 years ago. Like you
know.
think about it. 15 years ago, let's see. This is the iPhone.
something is that the
The
it's a
14's
nice
out,
one.
right? The 14 is the most recent iPhone, right? Is there a 15 out? So we're at iPhone 15 now?
It's a big one. It's a big number.
Yeah, I know it's double digits. If it's 15, if it is indeed 15, then here's what we know. 15 years ago was the first iPhone.
iPhone 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 15 years ago was the first iPhone. So let me tell you what the majority of the people had during that time. A Motorola Razr, a T-Mobile Sidekick, a BlackBerry, or a Nokia. 15 years ago.
Yeah, I had the razor.
And I had the
Remember those?
Sidekick. Because I liked
was it the flip?
the flip
Oh,
thing
that
with the
was so
QWERTY board
cool.
as my.
Oh, so great.
I was
That was a
on.
good
I was
phone.
on that train.
That was a good phone.
If they still made that and it was as
Oh, so
updated
good.
as an iPhone, I'd probably have that right now. But think about it. That was 15 years
That
ago.
was a long time ago, man.
And it was a short time ago. And look how far we've come in technology, but we
Yeah.
haven't come that far in church.
You know, because you're a visionary.
I am.
That must have been tough sometimes.
It was.
When you came up with some ideas,
It was.
some crazy ideas, some expensive ideas.
It was. It was.
Was that? So it must be so freeing to you to be like, hey, y'all, let's just. You know what I love is I love just, and that's why I like going to open mic nights.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you could just bomb and it's okay.
It is okay.
I think oftentimes it's like, well, if we're spending this kind of money and we're doing this, like we're expecting X and Y and Z. And it's like, well, let's just do it
Yeah.
and just see what happens.
And see what happens.
And it's okay if it fails. But
That's
like,
right.
Give space for failure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give space to just, spend a portion of the budget, because if it works, there was a great book called Experimental Bets. And it's basically like, if you do enough experimental stuff, one thing's going to hit, but 20 things will not. Are you willing to do the 19 things to reach to the 20?
That's
If not,
really good.
So for you, like, this must be very freeing to just kind of
Be.
Yeah.
Like be.
Yeah.
And I was at Stanford a couple of months ago, which I could never be at Stanford
I had
if I was a lead pastor.
I had one show at Stanford, and I thought their electric.
What?
Do you remember those electric skateboards? It was beautiful
Yes.
camp.
Yes, I remember
I
those.
thought that was the coolest thing. And then a professor was throwing this like pillow to the students, and it was like a microphone. It was the coolest thing.
That
And
is-
I was
that
like,
is
This
cool.
is so inspiring. This is so cool.
Okay, I gotta
But
find
you didn't
this
like
picture.
it though. It sounds like, or you did.
I did.
Oh, you did like it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure. All right, I gotta find this. I know I took a picture of it. Where is it? Oh, come on, Stanford thing. Hold on. Oh, it's got to be in my pictures. Okay. I'm gonna get it. I love the iPhone and the fact that you can just type something in and it stamped it for you and it will show you Stanford University. Booyah. Did you know you could do that? Like your iPhone in your photos will recognize images. Like if you typed in gun, it'll pull up all the pictures of guns that
Really?
that you have. You don't even got to look for.
Wild.
You put in cars. You put in. Oh, it's beautiful. All right, so this was in the design department. They had 10 rules. Okay, Immaculate Heart College Art Department rules. You ready? Rule number 1: find a place you trust and then try trusting it for a while. Rule 2: general duties of a student: pull everything out of your teacher, pull everything out of your fellow students. Rule number 3: general duties of a teacher: pull everything out of your students. Rule number 4: consider everything an experiment. Rule number 5: be self-disciplined. This means finding someone wise or smart and choosing to follow them. To be disciplined is to follow in a good way. To be self-disciplined is to follow in a better way. Rule 6: nothing is a mistake. There's no win and no fail. There's only make. Rule 7: the only rule is work. If you work, it will lead to something. It's the people who do all the work all the time who eventually catch on to things. Rule number 8: don't try to create and analyze at the same time. They're different processes.
Wow.
That's good.
That's a good one.
Rule 9: be happy whenever you can manage it. Be happy whenever you can manage it. Enjoy yourself. It's lighter than you think. Rule 10: we're breaking all of the rules, even our own rules. And how do we do that? by leaving plenty of room for X quantities.
How great is it to give people?
Oh, wait a
space?
minute. There's a little blurb at the bottom. Helpful hints. Always be around. Come or go to everything. Always go to classes. Read anything you can get your hands on. Look at movies carefully, often. Save everything. It might come in handy later. Here's the last sentence. There should be new rules by next week. Like you talk about like we haven't tried anything new in the church. We haven't tried anything new. Like the message is never going to change.
Yeah.
But to still think that that like growth track is going to scale discipleship is asinine.
Strategy could change. Like one day I might.
And I love growth track. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
For Chris Hodges and anybody else that might be. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying the people that think it's the holy grail, like the way that our church is going to, the X factor is growth track. Just go through these 4 weeks. Plug in, find your purpose, get involved. Get that. Man, stop playing.
I don't know, man.
4 weeks ain't going to do it, fam.
I also have like ADD. I don't know if I could follow like all that all the time. It's just like,
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, man. I mean, that's beautiful. Like just giving people space to be like, hey, this was not a good idea.
Yeah.
We won't ever do it again. But
yeah,
now you know.
Hey, we tried it though.
Now you know.
We tried it.
Yeah. Was it an expensive mistake? Absolutely.
Yeah, it was.
But it's okay.
Absolutely. I mean, Elon Musk. I read something with him yesterday. He's been, since he introduced his Cybertruck, he's got so much. There's so much angst and frustration around getting it out. So he's talking to investors, and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. Like I think they rolled off like 100 trucks. There's 1 million people waiting for a truck. There's 1 million people that put a deposit on the truck." And he goes, trying to bring this to market, right? They're trying to bend stainless steel. They cannot do it at an inexpensive cost. Like it costs more to bend stainless steel, and they can't do it in the way a production assembly line is going to scale the amount of trucks that need to be produced in a year. So he's like, it's going to be insanely hard and difficult to do what we set out to do. And yet we're going to try to do it anyway.
I love that. Like, I was so a couple of weeks ago, I was creating an illusion for like a TV segment. And my consultant was like, either make it beautiful or ugly.
I love that.
And then he was like, Elon, when he made the truck, when they first presented the design, he goes, it's not ugly enough. Wow. He goes, it's not ugly enough. He was like, make it as ugly as we can. Because culture is like, it's a nice car. It's a beautiful car. He was like, it needs to be ugly. And it needs to be the ugliest truck ever. Wow. And that just always stuck with me when my consultant said it. I was like, oh, make it beautiful or make it ugly.
You're not ready for this, fam. You are not ready for this.
I can't wait.
I cannot believe you said what you just said. And I'm about to read you what I'm about to read you. All right. This is Isaiah 53. Who has believed our message? To whom has the Lord revealed his powerful arm? My servant grew up in the Lord's presence like a tender green shoot, like a root in dry ground. There was nothing beautiful or majestic about his appearance, nothing to attract us to him. I took that verse a few years into me being a lead pastor in the month of December and preached a message called Ugly Jesus.
Wow.
He's not the handsome dude on The Chosen. He's not Jimmy Caviezel. This guy was so regular, he would have been overlooked. There was nothing about him, Scripture says, that was majestic or beautiful about his appearance. He wasn't even like decent looking.
Wow.
This dude would have had one of the most forgettable faces you have ever seen in your life. When he emptied himself of glory, he didn't replace it with physical glory, with physical beauty. He took it all off. He said, give me the ugliest form you can give me. I don't want no attention coming to me.
Yeah. I've never heard that before.
So when you say make it ugly,
Goodness.
Jesus said it first.
Wow.
I'll go, and I know I'm the seed of David, and I know he's handsome. Make me the antithesis of him.
But don't be in between.
Don't be in between,
Either do this or this.
But
hot
ugly.
or cold.
but ugly. I'll take it.
Wow.
It's a temporary body anyway. Who cares? I'm not even there for that. I mean, think about it. All through Scripture,
I mean,
Scripture always tells you when somebody's handsome. And they always tell you when somebody's ugly. They tell you Leah had a lazy eye.
But also culture.
That's exactly right.
Culture is on the other side of the spectrum.
That's
We
right.
spend billions
Oh, absolutely.
to accelerate that process.
That's
but he also, it's like, what is that?
yeah. What is that? What is that?
Yeah.
Cindy Crawford put a post and she goes, "I'm not supposed to be beautiful my entire life. I'm supposed to." I'm paraphrasing, but she's basically saying like I'm supposed to age. Like I had a season of beauty, and y'all thought I was the finest, hottest, whatever, according to American standards. She was like, I got wrinkles now.
Yeah.
I'm aging.
Yeah.
The hell you want me to do? You want me to go spend $100,000 a year to look like I'm not aging, but all I'm doing is looking like I'm not aging? I'm really aging?
Dolly Parton.
Exactly. Right? So you want a 30-year-old face with 82-year-old hands? Like,
But you know what, man?
what are we doing?
Like, that's all those lines in like your natural beauty.
Mm-hmm.
That all those things are the stories that you tell. And you said this a while ago, and I'm going to echo this. And me and my wife were listening to it in the car, and so I used to straighten my hair.
Yeah.
So I used to reverse perm it. Like I just wanted straight hair.
Yeah.
And then I started reading about and then listening to like the civil rights movement, how just people wanted to embrace their natural beauty.
That's right.
African Americans, they would just embrace their natural hair. And one of my favorite things to do is just tell someone with African American hair that you're beautiful.
Yeah.
And ever since I learned about that,
Yeah.
I never.
Yeah,
paid the
bro.
money. You don't need it.
No, you do not.
You don't need that.
You
stuff.
don't need it, bro.
You don't need it.
You don't need it. And you have a gorgeous head of hair. Let's just be honest.
Thanks.
Your parents
Well,
collabed on giving you some great hair.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like the culture. Like Hollywood has a certain style
That's right.
that's 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely
Like
correct.
The Baptist church.
Yeah, absolutely correct.
It's like the white blonde.
Yep, absolutely.
Hot girl,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
And like now we have these avenues.
Yep.
That's like, no.
Yeah.
Like embrace what you have.
That's right.
Because the things that you think are ugly about yourself is the things most people will think is most beautiful. About
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
That's the thing.
Yeah, it is.
That's the thing. That's the podcast.
That's
the thing.
That's the thing.
So
Yeah, that's the name of this podcast is That's the Thing.
That's the thing.
That's the thing. What is that? That's the thing?
that's the thing.
It's just a thing. That's the thing.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful, man.
It is beautiful.
Even though it's ugly, it's beautiful.
Uh-huh.
That's what makes it beautiful.
That's what makes it beautiful. And that's what made Jesus's earthly ministry so profound to the people around him. This dude's not like this charismatic, good-looking guy that's so attractive. Everybody's like, wow. It's the miracles that they're like, who the that dude?
Yeah.
There's nothing about him that he's ugly. Dude is ugly. Which makes his act that much more beautiful.
Everything what he was doing.
It makes everything that he was doing so beautiful. It's coming from this ugly dude that everybody would just walk by. Like nobody was like, that guy's gonna be somebody someday. Nobody's
Yeah.
checking for this dude.
Yeah.
He just goes under the radar
Yeah.
in his parents' house. Nobody's like, oh Jesus. He's got the stuff. I promise you, he's gonna be somebody someday. And nobody knew that dude was coming.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
And it goes back to what we're saying, like, even in my art form,
Yeah.
like you had to prove yourself.
Right.
Nobody needed to, he went to them and
Right.
said, hey, come follow me.
Right.
Revolutionary.
Right.
Different.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give you these secrets.
Right.
And there's
Oh,
nothing.
so good.
It's like, come all upon me who are weary,
Yeah.
because my yoke is easy and my burden is light.
Yep.
Anybody could take on my Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally different.
Dude.
Upside down.
That's a whole
So,
that could be a whole another hour just talking about that.
yeah.
Hey, I remember you saying you wanted to do a trick.
I could. You guys
that-
want to see something?
Yeah, that's what you said. You said it, bro. I didn't make it up.
Do your
You
kids
were
wanna
like,
see it? Were your kids want to see something?
I believe they would. Let me go get them.
You know what's funny is, do we have so could I do something like, do we have like a shot where we could kind of maybe see
Yeah, we'll do whatever we need to do.
everyone?
Nathan,
Hey, bro. You want to sit right here?
this is gonna be.
All right, so
What's happening?
Y'all come sit down real quick.
all right, so this
You
is
can
kind
step
of
over that, can't you? Yes. Booyah.
Oh, we're still live?
Oh yeah, we're not live.
Oh, still recording.
We're recording. This is
so this is kind of the thing I'm known for.
Okay.
It's a card trick. So
Card trick?
yeah. So let me. Okay. Hold on 1 second.
Mommy?
Are you sure this is safe?
No, it's okay.
You got like you got like 40 knives in here.
Yeah, hold on. It's a card trick.
bruh. He keeps saying this is a card trick.
Hold on.
This is not a card trick.
Can you hold this?
Nate, this dude got like 40 knives in this bag.
Hold on 1 second. So let me do this.
What's happening right now?
Can
He
you?
still has more knives.
No, it's a. Do you want one?
No.
Nah, I think you're good.
Okay. Here, let's do this. Let's kind of clear the way.
Where are the cards at?
I don't know.
You don't.
Dude, put out a switchblade.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Let
It's
me.
not a card trick.
Where are the cards at? I haven't seen one card
My
yet.
heart is
Hold
racing.
on. You know what's funny is I don't think it's in.
You need cards?
Yeah. Can you get me those? Yeah. Go ahead and get those. And could I show y'all something real quick? Here. Sorry about that. Can you, as we're going through this, can you think of a card, like a playing card, in your mind? Don't say it out loud.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the idea. It's kind of the thing I'm known for. Okay.
Okay.
So what I want you to do is keep thinking about that card, and I want you to look at this deck of cards. You can see that they're all different, right? Every single one is different? Good. But you don't know where every single card is. You just kind of glazed at it, right? Okay, good. For the first time, what was the card in your head?
3 of hearts.
3 of hearts? Yes. Okay. Do you want that knife or do you want a different knife?
I feel like this one was clearly chosen for me, so
You could change it if you want to. Now, please change it, because a lot of people might think that's a trick knife.
What does this mean?
I'll tell you this one.
You like that one?
Yeah.
All right.
So you want to pick that one up and put that one back? Is that
Yeah,
what
sure.
you want
We'll
to
do that one. So hold it like this.
All right, put that one down.
Is it okay if your son does this?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to teach you the technique. Okay. 3 hearts. What you're going to do is you're not using this table anymore, are you?
No,
So you're going to like stab, and you're going to slowly pick up. So you're going to stab, and you're going to slowly pick up. Now, just make sure it's more than 1 card and less than 52. Okay?
don't stab the whole
All right,
thing. Is
so
what
you're
he's
going to
saying.
go like that. Yeah. So you're going to stab and slowly pick up. All right. So go ahead and just hold it like that. And you're going to go ahead and just stab and slowly pick up. Okay. You said the 3 hearts?
Yes.
No!
There you go. There's the knife.
Yo!
Yeah.
No.
Wait,
No.
do it again.
No.
Do it again.
No.
There you go.
Yo, I'm genuine. Am I
Do it
genuinely
again.
tweaking right now? No.
There you go. That's
Do
for
it
you,
again.
man. You know what's funny? You talked about this earlier. So I actually created this trick because when I got married, when I was traveling, I told my wife, I was
Yeah,
like,
baby. You
yeah,
can
yeah.
put the knife down. This dude is like still holding it like.
Hey, so I wanted to get something, and I was like, man, maybe not a gun, so let's get a knife. And I was like, I want a knife too. I was like, what kind of magic could I create? So I created this, and that's kind of the thing I'm known for now. So yeah, good job. How do you do that, by the way?
How did he do it? How did you do that?
3 hearts and
With them
yeah.
like 50 knives in your bag.
I don't know.
That at least like
Hey, let me
30.
tell you what's so wild and disorienting. All these knives just keep coming out while you're saying this is a card trick.
Oh yeah.
It's just so.
I was trying to find.
It's such a great misdirection. Like it's
You know
like,
what's funny?
This is a card trick.
You know what's funny is I got these from Walmart yesterday. This is a funny story. I just had all these knives in my cart.
Was anybody suspicious?
Well, I wanted to do something else with your book, but it didn't come in time. So I was like, let's do the knife thing. That's gonna be fun. And then the self-checkout, you got like the kids that are that are like, hey, you're not 21, you're buying champagne or whatever, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I do all this, and he looks at it, he goes, hey, I just have to like, he looks at all my knives, he's like, are you 18? And he looks at my knives, he goes, you're good.
That is hilarious. He's like, I don't know what you're about to do with all of these, but it's past me. Like,
I love it.
like I can't stop it anyway. Like, you know what I
love
mean?
it.
I'm leaving. It's all good. Let me tell you what's wild about this trick that I just love is that Hector picks it. You have him pick whatever card he wants. You shuffle. Nathan has a knife, but then he puts the knife down and Noah picks it up. Yeah, that's wild,
you,
fam.
You just knew where the 3 of hearts was, right?
No, he
No, I
didn't.
think you did.
You did.
No, I think you did.
No, you did.
I think your son is going to be, I don't know, maybe he becomes a
What did
magician
I do?
one day.
Am I
I
tweaking
just
right
stabbed,
now?
I just stabbed some cards.
That is, yeah. There's a lot more where that came from. Yeah. Yeah.
Again.
Here, let me just show you. Are we going to just keep, can we do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, for sure. Are you
All right.
kidding me right now? This
Okay.
is like,
All right.
I'm gonna pick a
Let me
card.
show you.
I'll pick a card this time.
Actually, a lot of people might think this is like a, do you have your cards? I know we just
do.
stabbed these. Here, let me show you. Yeah. Here you go.
the fact that he keeps coming with a new deck.
Yeah. I
This
didn't
is
want
wild.
to use like mine because a lot of people might think it's like trick or whatever. All right, so
I already have the card in my head.
here, can you just take one? Take one out.
Just take it.
Yeah, take one. Here, let me just get it from the camera. Go ahead. Here, actually, here you can see it. There you go. The ace of spades. That's so boring. Are you sure? Everybody picks the aces. Okay, that's fine. Okay, no, are you sure? Okay, go ahead. All right, 7. Okay, cool. All right, so show it to everybody there, and you guys are brothers, right?
Yeah.
Take both of your hands out like this. Yeah, that's good. So we're gonna take the 7, and all right, let's see if I could get this. All right, we're gonna take the 7. We're gonna put it right here. Put your other hand on top. That's good. All right, this is my favorite card. All right, the 3. All right, watch the 3. I'm gonna put it in your hand like this. Can you squeeze it? All right, now watch the shadow from the light. Okay, watch.
Stop it.
Did you feel anything? Go ahead and open it up. Yeah.
If this card is not a 3, I'm genuinely gonna be tweaking. And I'm leaving.
There's no way.
What? Dude.
There's no way.
Dude.
Something isn't right.
What did
Do you all right?
where do you get these cards from?
I could do this all day.
What type of technology is in these cards?
So I'll teach it to you if you want me to.
Sure, because I want to know.
All right. So you promise you won't tell anyone.
You're about to say this in front of thousands of people.
Oh, well, okay, but they could cut it out.
Cool.
Yeah, they could cut it out. Okay. So here we go. Are you?
Noah's still examining it.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Here, let's. Okay, so I'll show it to you in slow motion, and okay, you can keep that. So, you can keep that, my guy. All right, so let's say the 7. Go ahead and put it somewhere in the middle. Okay, that's good. All right. So let's say the 7. So I gave it to you like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold it like this. All right, so put your hands just on your lap. Okay, so watch this. This is how it was done. Okay, so now without looking at it, what card is that?
The 7 of hearts.
Are you sure?
See, now I don't know.
Okay. See, it's just like double psychology, right?
Okay.
So like it's just trying to get into your head just a little bit, okay? Then we had like a second card. So you got the 7, this is the 6, 7 and 6. So the idea was I switched it without you looking. Now without looking at it, do you think the 7 is on top or on bottom? On top or on bottom? What do you think? On top or on bottom?
How do you switch it without me knowing?
Because so do you think what was it? The 7 of diamonds?
Diamonds,
Yeah. So if I switched it, that's basically, yeah. Go ahead and turn them both around.
I cannot deal with you.
It's something like that. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Show the babies. Show them, baby. Show the cards on that one.
These 2 cards was just diamonds of 6 and 7. When did
Yeah. Isn't that great? So that's how the trick was done. Isn't that great?
Oh my goodness.
I don't like you playing with my thoughts like this. What am I in, the Matrix? What kind of electronic cards are these?
Yeah, that's essentially here.
What did you do? Is this like double-sided where you can peel it open and there's more cards under it?
That's exactly what it is.
How?
Just peel it.
Just peel it. Bro, he
Just peel
cracked
it.
that. The thing it was packaged. It was
Okay, change it again then.
Okay. All right,
Change
so
it again.
here, can you actually I showed the guy downstairs. Actually, I wonder if I should. All right. All right. Okay, let me try this. All right. If you were to name a card, okay, most people would say like the Ace of Spades or the Queen of Hearts. What's your card? What do you want?
I'm gonna say
Or actually, hold on. Do it like this. So take your finger. All right, and then you're gonna show it to the camera so the camera can see. Because I feel like here. So go like this, and then just take one. Go ahead, and then show it to the camera. Go ahead. Yep. Go ahead. Take it out. Show it to the camera.
7 of diamonds.
Oh well, don't tell me. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna take it, but don't show it to me, but show it to the camera. Yeah. Go ahead, and just tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay. Go ahead and take it out. Is that a different card?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and show it to everybody. You got it. All right. So
Hide it.
honestly, this is really how it's done. So go ahead and put it somewhere in the middle. Okay, so check it out. Just like that, that goes to the top, your card. Is it the 3 of diamonds? No? So these cards are marked. I never told you that. So the back of them are marked. So if you tear it like that, I know where your card is now. It's not the 3 of diamonds, and now I know it is the 3. It was close, right? The 3 of spades. Isn't that cool? But here's the thing. Yeah, you could hold it. But here's the thing. If I wanted to redo it, like reverse time, I take the 3, I tap, and it goes back to the 3 of diamonds. And if that's the 3, that marked card, yeah, go ahead.
Oh no.
Ah,
Oh,
shut the door, fam.
Isn't that great?
It's not double sided.
Yeah.
Show-
I mean, you
sh-
could try to turn.
Look, show that.
Oh yeah, sure. We keep forgetting the cameras are here.
Dude, what is this?
If I were to ask you to, those are torn, right? Can you take? Are you left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed.
All right, so take your right hand out and think of a number between 1 and 10. Squeeze them.
Okay.
You got it? 7? No. 6? Yeah. Okay. Now count to 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That was misdirection. Did you feel it inside?
Mm-mm. 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 I'm weak.
Bro, how did he do that?
I was about to say something I was gonna regret. What in the actual
So
holy?
yeah.
What?
And you could tear it again, and then yeah. And if you put it under your pillow tonight, it might.
Not on your pillow. Dude, that's wild.
I told your team, I was like, "How old is Tim's kids again?"
I'm scared now.
I was like, I had like a magic kit for them, but I was like, they're too old now. They don't care. Now I kind of regret not bringing it. So, but I do have something for you though before we leave. Yeah. So that's
It's a knife set.
yeah. It's a
It's my parting gift
42 knives.
for everybody here. It's a knife set.
Could you make that bag into a PS5?
a PS5.
He could probably transform that
That
bag
is
into
true.
a PS5.
That is true. Well, actually, I would do that, but a lot of people might think it's witchcraft on the audience, so I probably shouldn't. I can, but it's the audience. They're gonna like comment and be like,
We don't want to deal with it.
"Yeah,
Oh my god.
poor Julie is gonna be like having a block party in the comments." So, yeah, man, do you enjoy that? You should come to one of my shows and bring your friends.
I'll pray about it. I'll seek God for counsel about
Yeah.
that.
Just hilarious answer, bro. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've always seen this type of stuff on YouTube. I didn't know it was actually real. Until it was actually in my hand. Okay.
Do you want to see another knife trick?
No. Mm-mm. I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
That was interesting,
Yeah.
to say the least. This card was just ripped a moment ago. Then it's back into a solid like it never ripped. What did you do to my brain?
So I was actually going to do something with your dad's new book, but
If I turn around and his cover has changed, I'm leaving the room. Okay. If I that's what my head around. And this cover is changed.
Right.
I'm not coming back.
Hey, can you? Okay, so last thing. Okay.
Okay.
Name any card. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Check inside of your shoe.
I'm going to spaz. Which foot?
Which one do you want it to be in?
What curse did you put on us when you walked in this house?
Left or right? It doesn't matter. Which one do you want? Whatever you choose, it'll be there.
Why did you invite me? What's going through your mind? What's
Yeah.
going?
This is going to be really bad in the comments. The thumbs up to thumbs down ratio up until this point will
Bro.
be
So left foot.
left foot.
Left foot.
And what's the card?
You want me to say?
Yeah,
it?
go ahead.
I said-
You don't have to.
I think I said 4 clubs.
Go
I
ahead.
think I said
Yeah,
that.
go ahead. I'm just kidding. It's not there. I'm
Oh,
just kidding.
I was about to say.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see
Yo,
how close I
If it was in there, I was legitimately gonna freak out.
But that moment, that feeling is the best.
It is the best.
That's why we get into
Yeah,
what we
yeah,
do.
for sure.
That was
Yo. That's low-key kind of freaky.
yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Is this the first time you've seen magic tricks up close? Hey, I
Yeah.
just want to reiterate. So magic isn't real. Magic isn't real.
It's all
Magic isn't
illusions.
real.
Magic isn't real. Magic isn't real. Magic isn't magic isn't real.
But it's kind of like a fun art form, you know?
It is.
So I'm gonna leave you with a deck of cards, and I'll send you guys like a couple things to if you want to do it on your friends. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Now I'm overthinking. What if I get this deck of cards and I open it and my face is on it? Wow.
Yeah, bro. You're
That's true.
Now.
he's reading Lord of the Rings right now, so
Oh, is that what it is?
That's
That
probably
makes
what
sense.
it
Congratulations
is.
for making me overthink.
Hey, appreciate you, man.
You got me.
Is that fun? Isn't that fun?
I'm freaked out.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna do with these knives now. So.
it was when this small knife comes out, this personal one, and this hunter one. I'm like, that's just hilarious to me.
Man. Yeah, that's my personal one actually. I
It's
love
a knife one.
Yeah, it's the knife one. So people call me like the knife guy now. Yeah. In the industry.
I love
It's
it.
the thing that got me started. It's the thing that David Blaine reached out to me for. Like everybody kind of has their thing in the industry.
Wow.
And like he's on a motorcycle in LA and was like, hey, I heard you do this thing. Can you teach it to me for my upcoming special? I'm like, you're David Blaine. Yeah. And
Dude, that's wild.
yeah, it's just like, well, first it's like, how do you get my number?
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm David Blaine. like exactly, like it's like you figure out who these people are.
That is wild,
And then
fam.
just one thing led to another. I got to be an advisor for a special, and it just kind of became. It's
Yeah.
funny because like your thing is never the thing you want it to be. It always looks way different. Like you want to be this guy or that guy, and it like you just never know what resonates. And it's like, no, you're this guy.
Yo, I'm glad you said that, fam, because like the market actually tells you who you are.
Yeah, I never wanted to do this.
Yeah.
I hate this. This is Jack Johnson singing Banana Pancakes for the 8,000th time. It just became it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was an experience. I'm gonna go.
You are going to be okay, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna just rethink my life experience and what got me here to this moment today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love your bracelets.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I love them.
I just parents had it. Just throw them on.
I love them,
Just
bro.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, there. Grab yourself a deck of cards as you bounce too, man. So
Okay.
Good job, Nate.
I survived.
You did. See?
Yes.
Daddy wouldn't put you in danger.
No, I know that. Totally not with these couple dozen knives right there.
Well,
You were so safe.
At the beginning of the podcast, they were like, this is just like, we need to get a new table. I was like, great, because I was going to stab it.
Hey, and I'm glad you stabbed it. Like that was.
Maybe that was the push to get a new table. The next podcast.
Yeah, we just carved up this one.
Yeah.
Put Hector was here, and then we get a new table as a result
love
of it.
it.
Bro, thank you so much.
What a good, your kids, man.
My babies.
Just so good.
Let me tell you something.
And you don't need to leave your house.
I don't leave my house.
You don't need to travel.
My commute is upstairs, fam.
You created it, man. You didn't create it, but you're called to. God knew you didn't want to travel.
Yeah.
As much as you did.
Yeah.
What a great family, man. You're so full.
Thank you,
Beautiful
man.
House.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for being here.
Yeah, man.
And thanks for sharing your story.
Yeah.
And just being so vulnerable about such sensitive aspects of your life. You know what I mean? I know that's going to resonate with so many of our community that don't have a father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's also going to resonate with so many creatives that are like, I think this dude just gave me permission,
bro,
to be me.
Yeah. Also, like, the special that's coming out is the
Please talk about this.
I don't want to pitch it. Well, I do.
You should.
Well, I should pitch it.
Yeah, you should. You should pitch it.
You
should pitch it loud too.
Ryan is going to be.
Ryan's now paying attention.
So if you enjoy,
he doesn't care about this introduction, but he cares about this outro.
Hey, well, I was going to say like about fathers and everything. I don't want to ruin the special, but if you like magic tricks, fake magic tricks, you're going to love this. But this is the last chapter of. I feel like this is kind of the last hurrah of what I want to talk about. When I talk about my father, because I became a father. It was a new season. I created it as a timestamp in my life.
Yeah.
So I could start creating this new thing.
It was a way to close a book.
Yeah. So December 14th, it's called Ticket for One, and it's a magic show, but it's bigger than a magic show. And
where will it be airing?
I'm doing the YouTube thing. Like,
let's go.
Let's get it. I was like, we could spend 2 years trying to sell this thing, or let's just put it out, put it behind us, and move on to the next thing. And I just don't have the patience to sit on it. So
where did you film it?
At the 4-day weekend venue in Dallas.
I haven't even heard of it.
Can you hand me my phone? Hey, when you do your comedy special, bro. It's the best venue.
Really?
DFW area.
And it's called the 4-day venue?
4-day weekend venue.
4-day weekend venue.
Yeah. It's let me show you like a full scale. Or are you pulling up a picture? Yeah. Make sure it's the one in Dallas.
I think you have to like enable or
it used to be Old Church.
Really?
Yeah. And
sweet. How many does it seat?
120.
Oh, that's perfect.
And it's 2 balconies.
That's perfect.
It's great.
120. Talk about that's what you want in terms of intimacy.
And what's it? It's called the 4-day weekend. It's not popping up.
4-day weekend venue, Dallas. 4-day weekend venue. Here, go to images. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
That is. Are you kidding me, fam? That's gorgeous.
Yeah. So we filled it up. We filmed it 3 times, with a packed, kind of a packed house because we like fit like a 30-foot jib and like a ton of like production.
Yeah.
So we filmed it twice, and then we filmed it a 3rd time without an audience. Tight shots.
Nice.
And it turned out so well. But yeah, we just had to sell 120 tickets, and they sold pretty fast. And it's the perfect venue, man.
Dude, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
Well, like, old Hollywood was like, hey, you need like a big deal and things like that. But like, I forget who it was, but there was like a handful of guys. I was like, let's just self-produce this thing. We're ready.
This is 2023.
Yeah.
Not 1993.
If you could think about it, you could create it. Just go
Absolutely
do it.
correct. Absolutely
and
correct.
Be okay with it
Yeah.
failing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and this was one of those things where I was just like, you know, this is the biggest financial investment I've ever had in my life. I was like, it's okay to fail.
Bro.
And my promise to me was I'm still going to let it out there
Yep.
into the world, because like you just have to go through this first thing before you get to the next thing.
Okay, so let's talk about something else in addition to you just can't be afraid to fail. You have to bet on you.
You have to. Yeah.
Bro, you got to push all the chips into the middle of the table and be like, I bet on me.
Mm-hmm.
That's an important aspect of this. I'd rather bet on me and fail than to bet on a version of me and be successful.
Yeah. Or be an investor in like a weird,
Yeah.
like, it's like, bro,
No.
if you believe in yourself.
Yeah.
I remember, you know, just loving what you do. Like, I remember like an old Donna Miller quote, and it's been a lifelong quote of mine. And he was like, I've always hated jazz music. Like, I hate it. And I was like, I was in Louisiana, and I saw this man on the saxophone for 15 minutes straight, and not one time did he ever open his eyes. And I love jazz music.
Wow.
And he goes, sometimes you have to see someone love something so you can love it yourself. It's as if they are showing you the way.
Selah. Selah. That's beautiful. Ticket for one. December 14th. Zach Mirs. YouTube.
Free.
Rated E for everyone. Thank you so much, man.
Love you, bro.
This
Thank you
has
so
been,
much.
you have to come back too.
I would love to.
And then we have to go hit some comedy clubs.
Yeah. Open mics. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Wow. Hey, listen, y'all. If you couldn't get something out of this convo, what are you even doing? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I love y'all. Until next time. Peace.
Yeah, so press B with me, and let's let whatever gon' be just be. Yeah, so press B with me, and let's let whatever gon' be just be.